Can McCaffrey do it again? I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is M19 on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's Wilson to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Anderson, and they'll get him down right around the 16. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. This a 33-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go now. Green.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here we go now.
McCaffrey on the counter. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. They've certainly had their struggles against the run, at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem, when they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
On 3rd and 2, Murray going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 1st and 10, Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing again. Murray. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll halt play here for an injury as Christian McCaffrey is slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up by running the action to the right. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And his kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me,
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back at him. They get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I
and
like
a
that
really
one.
good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. A gain of 13 and also the 1st down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season. They got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now they'll run on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a 2nd guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, it's Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake, Murray. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Operating from the gun, Murray. And he comes back with one complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Green, 39. Green.
On 3rd and 2, Murray. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. So a big 3rd down hookup here will take us to the break. 3-3 our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Eddie Vanderdoes there on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
First down, Murray throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals are in for 6. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 10-3. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They go play action with Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. from the shotgun. Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Murray now. Throw left side complete. It's Lamb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Off play action. Murray. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. In for the score. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Extra point safely through. And the lead is now 17-3. Scoring summary. 3-play drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Now Wilson operating from the gun. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They go play action now. Wilson. Wide open receiver, complete. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We'll see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing on first down. Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. It became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Murray. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
From the gun, Murray got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson, and he's got this down to the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
Operating from the gun. Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time, a 6-play drive. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Wilson now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Wilson operating from the gun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now Wilson on second down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now it's Wilson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll take the trip east to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they trail in their ball game at halftime to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback and a... So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A nice gain of 21 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
All right, here we go.
This is McCaffrey on the give. Room to run inside the 40, and all the way down to the 33-yard line. They'll halt play here for an injury as Christian McCaffrey is slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Here's Murray. Flush to his right. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Back to the Philly. Here we go.
Off the play fake. Murray. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw again. Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. In for the score. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drained clock, too, with a drive.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Returning it, John Ross. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Second and 10 now. Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Running right, here's Sanders. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Green 39.
From the gun, Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Another run with Sanders. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Murray. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Play action. Now Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest,
All right, here we go.
I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. Please.
Operating from the gun. Murray. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect. But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Wilson now, off play action. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen, but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one down to the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, Wilson. That is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
from the gun on third down. Murray, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. So not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he gets it down to the 32. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now a run with Anderson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your season.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to air one out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 58 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Looking to throw. Murray. This will be caught at about the 6. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a second and goal. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. To throw on second down. Murray. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. In for the score. Now the try here for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Both offenses have been clicking in this one. A lot of points on the board. We'll see if that trend continues.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Off play action. Murray. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
You don't want to throw away this excellent field position, but that's 2 incomplete passes in a row. Definitely need something big here on 3rd and 10.
Conversely, defense has done a good job on 1st and 2nd down. The coverage has been draped. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Time for a break. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cards, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.
you.